So this presentation is for our kinetic imaging assignment, and I will be talking about Otolith Group. It is not a single person or artist, it is a group effort, and this is made by me, Gibson Hunt. So, what are you supposed to expect for this presentation? Well, got a bit of their bio information of the group and other members, but it's very brief. I'm not going to bore you with that. I got some art that's good or why I was invested in it, a bad one that I didn't really understand, and two confusing ones that I wasn't completely sure on. And then I'll conclude it at the end. I'll be very casual about this because we're allowed to critique or do anything in our own way, or at least that's how I perceive the instructions on. So the founders of the Otolith Group is Alright, so the founders of the Otolith Group is Codwo Ishun and Angelica. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Codwo Eshin, Angelica Sagar.
And then some other pretty important members. There are a lot more to it, but these were the ones that stood out. I'm just going to use a text-to-speech on this one.
Amar Kanwar, David Lamelas, Mohammed Kazim, Gulsun Kara Mustafa, Hassan Khan, Bruno Lego Marcino, Nadia Kabi Link, Vincent Leong.
I'm not really going to go into detail about these people because that's not really what this slide is focused about. So, the good.
Oh my. That's why he's the GOAT!
These were the ones that stood out for me, or ones that I really appreciated. These are the four that made me choose this group of artists. I've included an enlarged one and a small one because the large one's quality is just So for this slide, I like the spheric nature of it. It feels like it's the world, and that the little lines, the wavy lines, remind me of just ocean waves for some reason. Like there's a tidal wave going across it. Gives off that ghostly appearance. And it also reminds me of when your PC goes into some sort of sleep mode when you don't press anything and you got a cool animation going on. I think that only happens for Apple products. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, overall I really like this design, and they keep it up for this one. For this one, it just feels cloudy and reminds me of the sky. I do like the bottom of it. It reminds me of some sort of building, like I guess the Pentagon. I don't know why, but it just reminds me of the Pentagon. And also the big cloud in the middle reminds me of a caterpillar. Oh, here we go. Alright, I'll turn on laser pointer to point stuff out. So we'll move on to the next one. Alright, so for this one, it looks like a plant that's sprouting, like, with the middle of it being a bud or a world, and it's being hoisted up. It just looks like it's going to be blooming out along with the stem, or not the stem, but a stalk of a leaf at the edge. It just reminds me of a big, beautiful plant that's about to bloom. And then for the last one, this right here, it looks like a human almost. And not so much this one, just this one feels like a human because you got the hands here, you got the big head, the body works out, and then you also got a leg extruding out. To me, I perceive it as spirits going up, possibly going to heaven or being released from the depths. Again, this is just from my perspective, but I just really like this. It feels like there's a lot going on with how simple the image is, just using the color white and black. Okay, now for the bad.
My disappointment.
Allow me to destroy your gallery.
This is one that I didn't really understand. I don't know why, but this just reminds me of the Joker movie or Dream. Maybe that's because I'm Gen Z or I'm just prone to this kind of stuff. I'm going to try and dissect on what I'm perceiving. I'm perceiving it's some sort of cult. I'm not entirely sure why some masks are half red and half white, and some others are just completely red. I don't know why, but I'm just not vibing with it. Maybe it's because it's some sort of culture that I do not understand or know much about. It's just not for me, unfortunately. I'm not connecting with it. But so far that's the only image that I found that I did not really like. Now for the other two, I put this in the confusing category.
Huh? Huh? What?
Now, that doesn't inherently mean that they're bad, just say mixed feelings about this one. So, this one I'll go a lot more in depth on. First off, I don't understand why there's an astronaut here. There's a message or a purpose of why he's here, but it just feels out of place where you got this group of a black community, but tinted blue, and then you got two rectangles tilted of a building. The right one's just the same one on the left, but zoomed up because there you got the wired lines here. So that's a connection. Again, I'm not completely sure about the astronaut. Now, this is a big stretch after looking at it for a while, but maybe what it's saying is segregation. And hear me out. You got the astronaut here, and he's on the moon because his mask reflects the moon, and the people are tinted blue to represent aliens, since many people just depict aliens as being dark blue or some sort of gray, just unnatural colors. That's why I perceive the message as segregation. Again, this is just a big stretch, or from what I'm perceiving, but there's not much to go around when you have an astronaut and then a black community tinted blue. All right, and then for this one, it's just a road. I don't understand what else it's trying to say. It's maybe it's a border with a river, but I feel like that's just stretching it. But again, this is a critique from my perspective, so it can be anything I want. There's no wrong answers. I don't really see the art in here. It's literally just taping a banana to a wall with duct tape and calling it art. There's not much to it. So in conclusion, most of the art here is either really good to my standards, or I really appreciate it, or just a little puzzling, but not outright bad. Just one of them I found I didn't really understand, but for the majority of it, I did like the artists who worked on these. These are pretty good. I hope that they make more like these. That's pretty much it.